Imagine a world where the simple act of enjoying a glass of wine with dinner or raising a toast to a celebration was not only frowned upon, but outright illegal. Welcome to the age of prohibition. This age of prohibition only lasted give or take 13 years for good reason. Prohibition in the US led to more organized crime and didn't stop people from drinking alcohol. The unintended consequences of this era are a dark reminder of how complex and impactful such moral laws can be on society. Exploring crime rates, and economic impact, and moral law enforcement offer key insights to social well being. Let's jump right into the eye opening consequences that this prohibition timestamped unleashed upon America. Even with the ban of alcohol, many people decided to drink, which consequently led to the rise in organized crime. People turned to illegal methods such as bootlegging or speakeasies to acquire alcohol despite the ban. Criminal groups such as Al Capone's Chicago outfit took advantage of this demand, making massive amounts of money and gaining power throughout the US. The National Archives states homicides, burglaries, and assaults consequently increased significantly between the 1920s and 1933. This widespread joke of prohibition laws and the exponential growth of organized crime showed the challenges and unexpected results that can derive from trying to enforce moral law challenges. The graph on the screen shows the exact correlation between prohibition and crime rates. Focus on the left side of the graph where the prohibition starts and continues to rise consistently for the next 13 years. This is until prohibition was repealed in 1933, where the graph shows the murder rates were nearly cut in half over the next 10 years. Additionally, the violent atmosphere among rival gangs resulted in many deaths and further highlighted the failure of law enforcement to keep control. Ultimately, the period revealed far deeper issues within American society. This is about controlling how people behave and the unexpected outcomes of laws based on morality. These lessons learned from prohibition resonate in today's society, reminding us of the complexity surrounding the oversight of substances and the current debate over individual freedoms versus social norms and values. Examining the impact of this prohibition on America's economic situation reveals the consequences of closing the alcohol market. The prohibition of alcohol led to severe economic dislocation in a number of industries. About 250,000 jobs were lost as a result of the forced closure of legitimate establishments, including salons, distilleries, and breweries. At a cost of of 300 million, the government's endeavor to implement prohibition required significant financial resources. Alcohol sales also cost the federal government over $11 billion missed in tax income. Not only was the alcohol business impacted by this economic hardship, but associated industries like hospitality and entertainment also experienced a drop in revenue as a result of the lack of alcohol sales. Prohibition's effects on the economy went far beyond the decline in income and employment. Organized crime syndicates took advantage of the thriving black market for alcohol supply, illicit booze, and profit handsomely. Economic disruption and the emergence of a strong criminal organizations were caused by the transition from legal to illicit enterprises. A National Bureau of Economic Research found that prohibition made criminal justice and law enforcement far more expensive, put further pressure on the economy. A prohibition unexpectedly economic repercussions serve as a reminder of the difficulties in enforcing moral laws and wide-ranging ramifications of such measures. Having laid out the facts regarding economic and legal guidelines during Prohibition, what role does morality play in this context? Moral law enforcement frequently has both intentional and unexpected repercussions, making it a double edged sword. On one hand, moral laws are intended to uphold public order and advance societal values. Laws prohibiting theft and murder, for example, are based on moral precepts that safeguard people and property, guaranteeing for a more secure and equitable society. The major peoples support and accept these rules since they are in a line of basic moral principles. Governments can maintain social cohesiveness and stop detrimental activities that endanger residents' well being by implementing these regulations. However, there are situations in which implementing moral laws might backfire, especially when those laws aim to control individual behavior that does not cause harm to others. An excellent illustration of this is the United States Prohibition era. The goal was to lower alcohol use and societal issues that come with it. But instead, there was a rise in organized crime, illicit alcohol manufacture, and general lawbreaking. Both morality and the law channel our behavior, but the unintended consequences of enforcing moral laws can sometimes exacerbate very small issues they aim to resolve, says Harvard law professor Stephen Chevelle. As we reflect on the era of prohibition, it's clear that the attempt to curb alcohol consumption through legal means has a far reaching and often unexpected consequence. It's evident that prohibition in the United States resulted in increased organized crime and failed to prevent people from consuming alcohol. Analyzing crime and murder rates, economic impact, and moral law enforcement provides insights into the state of society of governments. Each time you take a sip of your favorite alcoholic beverage, take a moment to appreciate the history behind it. Thank you.